going to kill you. I am going to take one of these cute little bullets and put it right in you.
You will do nothing of the kind.
I wonder what medal they'll give me. Maybe the Congressional Medal of Honor for ridding America of its number one snake.
Wait a minute. Nothing happened.
Oh, shut up.
I'm a widow. My husband just died 2 weeks ago. He was just keeping me company.
Look, I put up with this man and his lies long enough. It's about time I do myself and every other woman in town a favor.
Give me the gun.
Let go!
Give me the gun. Give it to me.
Stop! Let go!
Reagan, pick up the gun.
Let go! Let go!
Pick up the gun.
Go of me! Let go! Let go!
No!
Give me that gun! No! I said give me that gun! No! Let it go! No! Give it to me! Give it!
You shot her. Don't feel a pulse.
Oh, God, she's dead. She's dead, and I killed her.
We gotta do something. We gotta call somebody.
Right. Maybe we should call an ambulance. Oh, God.
An ambulance, for God's sakes, the woman is dead! I'm thinking about calling the police.
Oh, God. The police?
Raven, that's what we do in a situation like this. Someone has been shot.
Oh, man. I didn't mean for this to happen. Look, she pulled the trigger herself. I didn't do it. Oh, God. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't have any choice. I didn't have any choice.
Boy, if this isn't something else.
Hey, you like it, huh?
This place looks as crummy as it did when I was stationed here as a rookie.
You were here?
Yeah, they sent all the rookies here. They figured if you could survive this dump, you could get through anything.
Why'd they finally close it down?
The Board of Health, I think. Who are those guys?
Oh, well, these guys are actors. They're here for window dressing.
Don't you think it might be a little dangerous bringing outsiders in on this gag?
Well, Smiley isn't too worried.
Where is he?
You didn't hear what happened? I mean, that woman who owns the penthouse, she came back suddenly and he had to rush out of here and head her off at the hotel.
Now, how do you manage to do that?
Well, he made her believe that Johnny was with him.
I see. And has the, murder taken place yet?
What?
Oh, may have taken place right now.
Ah, sure, and you got the 9th Precinct, Sergeant O'Malley. Could I have that name again, sir? Halliday, yes, yes. Could you spell that for me? Yes, that's Halliday. Yes, sir. Now, could you tell me what happened?
Yes. There's been a shooting. Someone has been killed.
It's you.
Well, I hope I'm not disturbing you, Nora.
You were gone so long, I thought you were planning to spend the whole night out.
I take it Mrs. Whitney isn't home.
You left here in quite a hurry. Must have been for something very interesting.
I've got some advice for you, Nora. You better get over these prying habits of yours. They're going to get you in big trouble someday.
Well, you've got some bad habits, too, like secrecy. You're always walking around with a mask on your face.
I'm going to my room.
You know, maybe you think you have a cushy job here, but if Mrs. Whitney knew how you behave behind her back.
What about the way you behave? You're making yourself quite at home here. You're drinking her wine.
You're up to something, Spencer, I can tell, and I'll bet you've got a good reason for your secrecy.
All right, Nora. I can tell you're not going to give up until that curiosity of yours is satisfied.
I'm just protecting Mrs. Whitney. You're always yapping about loyalty. Well, I'm practicing what you preach.
I have a sick friend.
What?
You heard me. A good friend of mine is very ill, and sometimes his illness is unpredictable. That's why I left so quickly.
Do you expect me to believe that you're a good Samaritan?
You believe what you like. I'm telling the truth. Good night.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, folks.
Pardon me, I'm just finishing up here.
Okay.
How was your dinner, Kelly? Nancy tells me that Valerie offered you a home-cooked meal tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't bad for a photographer. Oh, I'm just kidding. Really. No, it was really a fantastic meal. It really was.
But I gather you didn't stay for seconds. I expected you home later tonight.
No, I have to get up early tomorrow. I'm interviewing some more prospective hostesses for the children's show at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, yes, Geraldine told me that you're having a problem finding somebody who will appeal to the audience as well as the children.
Yeah, and since I'm director of children's programming, I got to come up with a new hostess soon.
Well, if I have any inspirations, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
I have one. How about Nancy herself?
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I love children, but
And they're crazy about you, so...
Mike, my editor is already telling me he thinks I'm spreading myself too thin. That's why I brought this work home tonight.
Oh, Ness, I'm sorry. Did your editor give you homework?
Lots.
Oh. What in the heck is this?
The subject of the story.
He looks pretty sinister.
He is kind of sinister. Or I should say was. His name is Lucky Mitchell. You may have read his obituary.
Yes, I did. That was on the front page, too, wasn't it? He was supposed to be some kind of gangster or something?
Well, that doesn't do him justice. He was kind of an overlord of the underworld in this territory.
Nancy, what are you doing writing about him?
Oh, well, I report on crime. It's my job.
And she does it very well, too.
I know that, but Nancy is so graceful and charming, you'd almost expect her to be writing a social column or something.
Or interviewing kids on television.
Oh,
Good
wait.
idea.
Hold it. Oh, there is something that I forgot to tell you.
What?
I do have a rather interesting interview scheduled for tomorrow. I'm meeting the new overlord, Mr. Eddie Lorimer. I am going crazy sitting around this place. Why couldn't I go to the hotel?
As what, a lady cop?
No, I could have been a chambermaid. I could have walked into that room. I could have discovered the body. I could have gotten hysterical, and I could have fainted.
Look, Mitzi, you'll get your chance later on.
But so many things have gone wrong already. Who knows what'll happen next? What if the body starts to giggle? I mean, Jinx Avery, what if she is lying there, belly up, and she starts to giggle?
Look, Mitzi, I love you, but you gotta stop being so silly. This is serious. Now, if this thing doesn't work out, your boyfriend is gonna be disbarred, and he'll be very poor.
What are you working on?
Police record. We want this thing to look authentic, don't we? Here, you see? February 14th, 1929, small disturbance reported in garage. Well, that was a St. Valentine's Day massacre.
Cliff, I love you, but you have got to stop being so silly. This is serious. And if this doesn't work, your girlfriend is going to go back to being a waitress, and she is going to be very unhappy.
Look, just keep reminding me that we are only doing to Raven what her husband did to Gavin, okay? So that she'll believe our story, so we'll get the theater back. That is the theory.
Well, when are we going to tell her? I mean, how long is this whole thing going to go on until she knows that it's all been a joke?
Well, at least until she gets booked and we take her down to a jail cell.
Yeah, jail.
Hey, that's when you get your big chance to play your big scene. Here, you better practice.
Okay, take a look at this. Hey, lady, you know what they got me in here for? Murder. Yeah. I chopped up my old man into 48 bite-sized pieces with a meat cleaver. But hey, you know, it was an accident, I think.
That's pretty good. All we do is work in some feigning in there, and it'll be terrific.
And what about your role as Raven Whitney's lawyer?
I just can't wait until she calls me and begs for my help. But she may not do it. She might call somebody else. Just have to wait and see.
Detective Calvin Stoner, Monticello PD. You Mr. Halliday?
Yes, sir.
Did you report a shooting?
Yes. There's the body.
Have you called for medical assistance?
No, she's dead.
Sergeant,
Yes, sir.
go downstairs and call for an ambulance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, she's dead, all right.
Oh, Calvin.
Raven, what are you doing here?
Man, I'm so glad it's a friend.
I'm afraid I'm here as a police officer, not as a friend, if that is what you really consider me. Mr. Halliday, what happened here? Who is this lady?
That's Jinx Avery.
Avery, Jinx Avery. Oh, yeah. She's, working with that theater group, the one run by Jim Dietrichson, right?
Yes.
You involved in that?
Yes, I am.
Is that the murder weapon?
Yes.
Well, we'll just leave it where it is for now. Mr. Halliday, did you shoot Miss Avery?
No, I did not.
Well, then who? Raven, you didn't do this.
Yes, I did, but it was an accident, Calvin. This woman came in with a gun, and she was gonna shoot Lance.
So you shot her instead?
No. They were struggling for the gun over there, and it flew over here, and I picked it up, but I did not shoot her. She pulled the trigger herself.
Oh, so you're telling me this was a suicide?
No. We were struggling for the gun, and it just went off. But it wasn't murder.
Yeah, well, that remains to be determined. But what it is homicide, and I'm afraid, lady, you're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, Switzerland. God, that seems like a long time ago. School. Daddy's clinic. San Moritz.
I know what the problem is. You're afraid to fly.
I have flown before.
Ah, yes, but not in a private jet. All alone with the pilot.
Well, what about your friend Jeff Brown? Why don't you ask him?
Well, that's an easy one to answer because I would much rather have you as my passenger.
I really can't, Sky. But thank you for the invitation.
Sometimes I think you turn down too many of my invitations.
And you know why, don't you? You ask me to do things I'm not ready to do.
Or maybe it's just that you don't find me appealing.
I didn't say that. And you know very well that I like you. But you expect too much of me.
Maybe you expect too little of yourself.
But Sky, look at me. What do you see?
I see a very attractive...
No. I don't want any flattery. That's not what I mean.
I see a beautiful young woman.
Young. That's the important word here.
Come on, you're old enough to take a drink. You're old enough to fly.
That's what you think. If my father knew what I was doing...
Oh. Come on, a few drops of brandy, that's no big deal.
But what I'm trying to say... If you think that I've been pretending to be what I am...
You mean the shy, sheltered young woman?
It's not a pose, Sky. That's what I am. Maybe that's why you're so interested in me. Girls like me are a challenge to men like you, aren't they? It's a game you like to play.
Hey, that's unfair.
No, I think it's true. You'd like to see if you could change me. See if you're charming enough.
Do you want to hear the truth?
Yeah. And not something that just sounds like the truth.
No, No, this is right from my heart. You're right. That is the way things started out for me. I mean, I have played games with young women before, but somewhere along the line, things changed.
How?
I don't know. It was just no longer a game or a contest. It became serious.
Are you sure this isn't just a change of tactics?
No. I don't know. I guess there's no way for me to prove that I'm being serious. But maybe there is.
How?
Maybe there is one way that a man can prove that he is serious.
I can't imagine what you mean.
And I can't imagine that I could actually do it.
Do what?
Propose marriage.
Sky, don't tease me.
No, no. No, I'm not teasing. And maybe that's just what I'll do when we get to Zurich.
I wonder if you really meant that, Skylar Whitney. I guess I'll never know now.
Cliff, why haven't we heard anything? I'm getting very worried.
Come on, Mitch, no news is good news.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about the Titanic when they didn't hear from it.
That's very funny.
Okay, guys, this is it. Get ready. They're bringing in our pets.
I thought her name was Raven. What? Let's go. Okay, Ziggy, you stay there. Bill, you go over to the... Yes, all right. Charlie, that's right. You go there. Stand next to the typewriter, Charlie, okay? All right, okay, all right. Break a leg, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mitch.
Hector, you're not staying.
Oh. Ow. Oh, God. Ah, Stoner. What have you got there?
Homicide, O'Malley. The lady's here for questioning.
Awfully pretty for a homicide, but you never know these days. All right, ma'am. What's your name?
Mrs. Raven Whitney.
Mrs. Whitney. You any relation to that guy?
Just write it down, O'Malley.
All right. All right. Address?
The Whitney Mansion.
And age?
Is that necessary?
Well, it's just for the record, ma'am.
Now, could I please go?
Raven, you don't seem to understand. A homicide has been committed, and you have admitted the responsibility.
I told you it was not my fault.
Well, there are still a lot of questions you're going to have to answer. Now, you've got the right to remain silent, and you've also got the right to have an attorney present. And under the circumstances, I suggest you do just that.
An attorney. This is serious, isn't it?
Yes, Raven, this is very serious.
Well, I do have a lawyer. His name is Ainsworth.
Is he a criminal lawyer?
No, he's an estate lawyer. I suppose that won't do, will it?
No, I would suggest you get somebody with criminal background.
Well, Cliff Nelson's the only one I know, but I would never call him.
Why not?
Because he's a jerk, that's why. But I can't think of anybody else.
Well, I've got his number in my book, if you'd like to have it.
I suppose so.
All right, the sergeant will dial it for you.
Sure. Let's see.
I'm ready.
Ah, Mr. Nelson. Sergeant O'Malley, 9th Precinct. I've got a Mrs. Raven Whitney here for you.
Hello, Cliff.
Raven, what are you doing down at the police station?
Oh, Cliff, the most incredible thing has happened. I just shot somebody. I think you know her. She's in the acting group. Her name is Jinx Avery.
You just shot Jinx Avery?
Yes, but it wasn't my fault. It was an accident.
Raven, look, why did you call me? You know, you just fired me. You always said I was incompetent.
Because I couldn't think of anybody else. Now, please, please, Cliff, you have to help me. I don't know what to do, please.
All right, okay. If you're begging me, I'll get over there as soon as I can. I gotta get dressed, though.
Just hurry, will you?
Yeah, sure, I'll hurry.
She called you. She called you.
Well, we're gonna have to get ready.
Oh, Damien, look at this scarf.
Ah, one moment.
Oh, God.
Valerie, please. Please don't be frightened. I realize what a shock this must be seeing me like this, but I was desperate. I had no place else to turn.
Who are you?
I'm Skylar Whitney.
Skylar Whitney is dead.
I realize how difficult this must be for you to understand, but please just listen to me. Just hear me out.
Well, you have to give me a moment. I feel like I'm in shock.
Yes, I can appreciate that, and I'm sorry. But just listen to what I have to say, please. Look, I am not a ghost. This is flesh and blood. I am the real Skylar Whitney.
How can you be?
For 3 years, there's been a man who's been posing as me. That man now lies in a grave with the name Skylar Whitney above him. That man is an imposter.
That can't be true. I knew him.
It is the truth. I swear to you it's the truth. 3 years ago, I had an accident. A plane crash. You may have heard about it. You may even remember that I invited you to go on that trip with me. Since then, I've thanked God 1,000 times that you didn't come with me.
I remember the invitation.
You see, as we were going over the Alps, I ran into a blizzard. The plane went down. And that was the first thing that I could remember after almost 2 years.
2 years?
2 years. 2 years of my life gone when I was practically comatose.
And are you all right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I had some sort of brain injury. They said it probably was a result of the trauma from the crash or the exposure or something.
Where were you all that time?
I was in a hospital in Switzerland, in Bern.
And the people at the hospital couldn't identify you?
By that time, they had long since given up trying. You see, I hadn't filed a flight plan when I left St. I wasn't the type of person who was terribly concerned about regulations. And when they found me, my wallet and my money belt were gone. The only thing I had on me was a photograph.
A photograph?
Yes. photograph of me and a young woman. A young woman that only I could identify as Valerie Bryson. And then I began to get better little by little. I began to realize who I was, what my past had been, what my future would be. And then I found out that someone else was living my future for me.
This story is so incredible.
See, even after I had gotten back my strength and I could talk, no one would listen to me. Except for two people. At least they gave me the benefit of the doubt.
Who are they?
One was a nurse, a British nurse. The other was a friend of hers. And between the two of them, they looked after me when I was in the hospital. But even with their help, it took almost a year before I was able to get back on my feet. Before I was able to come back here to Monticello. To face my double.
But now he's dead.
But now he's dead. But the woman that he married is alive. And she has my name and my identity.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by new Formula Era, a new combination of powerful cleaners concentrated into 1/4 cup, and by Comet, the cleanser that disinfects as it cleans.
Boy, the garbage that gets dumped in my sink and those food stains, they're tough to clean. But you know what else is in there? Germs. So I don't just clean with any cleanser. I Cometize. That's the best kind of clean a sink can get, because Comet gets out tough, greasy food stains better than any leading cleanser. And look, it disinfects, too. If a cleanser doesn't do all that, it doesn't get a sink clean enough for me.
Comet with Chlorinol cleans rings around other cleansers. It even gets out tough, greasy food stains they leave behind. And it kills most household germs. That's Cometized.
Comet cleans better and it disinfects, too. So why just clean your sink? Go all the way to Cometized.
Chocolate sauce, soaked in. Motor oil, seeped in. Collis oil, ground in. Unless you clean the dirts that go all the way through, your whole wash isn't clean. That's why we invented Era. Era has the power of cleaners for deep down dirt, for soaked in grease, for seeped in oil, for ground in collis oil. Penetrating cleaners concentrated to put more cleaning power on the stain. Watch Era clean all the way through these 3 layers of tough stains. Put a teaspoon of Era only on the top. Its power penetrates. Rub, run under warm water, and look. Era cleaned all the way through. And when you get the tough stains clean, your whole wash is clean. Era cleans all the way through.
Wait a minute, you.
Something you want, lady?
Yes, there's something I want. I want to get out of here.
Hey, sorry. I have nothing to do with whether you're in or out. I just lock the doors. Or unlock them whenever they tell me.
Wait a minute. How dare you walk away from me like that? Don't you know who I am? I am Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
So?
So I'm sure you've heard the name.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of it. Your old man killed somebody too, right?
I did not kill anybody.
See you later, Mrs. Whitney.
Wait a minute. Can you at least tell me why I am locked up in this dungeon when I haven't even had a chance to talk to my attorney?
Well, we're a little short-handed tonight. We don't have enough manpower to post a guard. Down here, we don't need one. It's the rules, lady.
I am not a criminal. I am a victim of circumstances.
You know, It's funny how often I hear that from people.
It's true. This woman came in and she tried to kill her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend? Huh? I heard it was your boyfriend. Well, at least you got rid of the competition, honey.
That is not what happened. We were struggling for a gun and
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's a favorite. She made you shoot her, right?
she did.
Look, lady, I'm just a cop. Save your story for the judge, all right?
Wait a minute, please.
Honey, my job is to make sure that you stay here until the law is ready to deal with you. Be a good girl, all right?
Don't go, please. I don't want to be alone. Wait!
This is the most exciting night of my entire life. Hi, how pretty. Hi, Missy. I can't wait to play my part.
Wow, this is a funny place to be in your night off.
Yeah, well, you're telling me. 2 coffees, if you get the chance.
Sure.
Okay? Thanks.
Yeah, well, you certainly could have played my part, Mitzi. I am definitely having regrets about this entire affair.
But you played it so well. I mean, hey, you are a detective.
Yeah, sure.
You don't look too happy about it. I thought everything went so well.
Everything did go so well. I mean, Raven's really convinced that she killed Jinx Avery. She's really convinced that the police actually arrested her.
And she deserved it, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, deserve it or not, I am beginning to feel pretty dumb about getting involved in this whole thing.
But Calvin, it was all done in the name of justice.
That is not what I was taught about justice, Mitzi.
Well, I can't wait to play my part. I mean,
Yeah?
you know, it is a small role, of course.
What are you gonna do?
They are throwing me in the cell next to Raven Whitney.
Yes, what?
You know.
No, I don't. Tell me.
Slow night, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel as if this night's gone on for 2 weeks.
I've always wanted to play a lady of the evening, you know, with a heart of gold.
Mitzi, I didn't know you were the type.
Yeah, well, I know those kind of roles do take experience, but anyway, I think putting me into the cell next to Raven Whitney will make this whole thing more authentic, you know?
You know, I don't see what the good of all this is. They've already got Raven exactly where they want her, and after Cliff gets through with her, she'll be even more convinced.
Ah, but this will convince her twice as
I just don't get it, Mitzi. The point has already been proven. I mean, there's no reason to drag it out any further. They should just tell her that the whole thing was a gag and end it at that.
You see, Smiley thinks that Raven should suffer a little. The way Gavin did when he was framed for killing Gunther.
Yeah, I know. I just hope they don't let it drag out too long. It just seems to me it's beginning to become unnecessarily cruel.
Calvin, I don't know why you feel so kindly towards this woman, I mean, especially after what she did to
Look,
everybody.
believe me, that is not it. It's just that it's the first time I've ever used my job to do anything that I was not proud of.
Where the hell is Cliff? I have got to get out of here. They can't keep me in here like this. I didn't even do anything. It was an accident. I thought I'd die when she pulled out that gun. She's dead. I have got to stop thinking about it. Why doesn't Cliff get here? I can't stay here any longer. I don't even have a hairbrush.
Hey, lady, your lawyer's here.
Oh, Raven, what have you done now?
I have a horrible headache, and it hurts here and here. It feels like just sharp shooting pains that go back and forth.
What do you usually take for headaches?
I've been taking aspirin for headaches for about 20 years.
Interesting, Billy, because the #1 selling brand of pain reliever doesn't contain aspirin.
What is #1?
It's Tylenol.
You're kidding.
Today, we'd like you to try extra-strength Tylenol. You know you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
I would prefer to find out for myself.
Look at the difference in the amount of medicine in the leading pain relievers.
Extra strength Tylenol has more medication. I still would like to know how it works on me. I'm very, very pleased. My headache's gone and extra strength Tylenol did it. I'm going to buy extra strength Tylenol for me to take, and my husband's going to take it too.
Try extra strength Tylenol. Capsules and tablets. Aspirin-free. And you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
The headache is just gone. I feel fine.
All right, counselor, you have 15 minutes.
And will you stop that dripping?
Thank you, officer. Well?
Well, what? I haven't done anything, and I am
Raven, I
sitting
can't
in
help you.
this
I don't have to
rotting
calm
place.
down.
Where the hell have you been? I have been waiting here for
You woke me out
hours.
of dead sleep. I had to get dressed, you know. I don't exactly live near here.
Well, I wouldn't have called you anyway, but I couldn't think of
Why
another
did you
attorney.
call me?
Because I couldn't think of anybody else. Now get me out of here.
Calm down now. Tell me what happened, will you? How'd you get yourself into this mess?
It was an accident.
Oh, you know the gun was loaded, huh?
No!
Just calm down. Take it easy. Here, sit down. Oh, start from the very beginning.
If you breathe one word of this to anyone, I'm going to have you disbarred.
Raven, do I have to remind you you're here on the charge of homicide? It's going to be very difficult to keep that quiet.
There was no homicide. I told you it was an accident.
Oh, yes, of course. What were you doing in the penthouse in the first place?
I was visiting a friend.
A friend?
Yes, his name is Lance Halliday. He works for the acting company. You probably know him. He goes under the name of Johnny Gentry.
You and Johnny? Well, of course. I didn't know Johnny's real name was Lance Halliday.
Well, he didn't want the other actors to know because of all his money.
Johnny has money? Oh, one never knows, do one?
Well, someone knew, and her name was Jinx Avery. She knew both his names. She obviously went out with him before he met me. And she saw us when we were at the restaurant together, and she burst into the penthouse and pulled out a gun, and then her and Lance started fighting over it.
So give it to me!
Stop! Let go!
Break up the gun!
Let go! Let go!
Break up the gun!
Go of me! Let go! Let go!
No!
Give me that gun! No! I said no! No! Let it go! No! Give it to me! Give it!
You shot her!
So it was obvious that I didn't do it deliberately. I didn't even know the woman. I was trying to save Lance.
That is an amazing story.
Well, if you'll just bring him in here and let him talk to the police, they'll let me go.
Sure, yeah, I'll do everything I can.
Please. Please, Cliff, help me. You won't run off, will you?
Frankly, Raven, I'd like to know why you called me. I mean, you've told me that you think I'm incompetent. You think I'm some crazy guy who just tells
I know
jokes.
you're angry at me because of that whole thing about the will, but please. Please help me now.
Okay, Raven, look, I'll do everything I'm supposed to do.
My mom always says...
A penny saved is a penny earned.
I save with this.
Waste not, want not. Dawn handles more grease for the money.
Are you sure?
Am I your mother? Look, I've washed greasy dishes in an average bargain liquid, and Dawn. See, Dawn handles more grease for the money. Keeps grease away from dishes.
With Dawn, dishes look great. My hands don't feel greasy.
They look better with a wedding ring.
Next time, call.
Dawn, handle more grease for your money.
Nope, nope, nope.
When you discover the cleaner feeling of zest, you're gonna say no to yourself.
It's not just Zest deodorant lather. Zest rinses cleaner, too. Look, soap here, Zest here. Soap feels tacky, but Zest rinses cleaner. You feel cleaner.
Discover the cleaner feeling of zest.
You're gonna say no to your soap and yes to Zest.
Betsy smells funny.
That's baby smells. Smelly formula, sticky baby food.
Diapers.
That's ammonia. Baby laundry is a special problem. So instead of regular detergent, I use Dreft with enriched borax. It's specially made for baby laundry.
There's borax in grain after grain of Dreft. Dreft gets tough baby laundry clean and clean smelling.
Now she smells good.
Dreft cleans baby smells out of baby laundry.
Jody, you haven't eaten anything.
I know I'm not hungry.
You're tired, you're emotionally drained, what you need is sleep.
That's a good idea. Except I don't think I could sleep right now.
I think you'll feel better once we get back to Monticello and you can put all this behind you.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Well, so much for my mission of mercy. It wasn't very successful, was it?
You did all that could be done and then some. Given the circumstances of the past, you went above and beyond the call of duty.
He's absolutely right, Jody. You've handled this thing so well. You know, and at least now you'll have the satisfaction of always knowing that you did the right thing.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I worried so much over whether or not I should come to Springfield, whether or not I wanted to see my mother, and then when I finally get here, it's too late. Moz, I should make funeral arrangements, right?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't think you should have to go through all of that after all that's happened, so I took the liberty, along with Dr. Hilmer, of arranging for a small service tomorrow along with the burial. And right after that, we can go back to Monticello.
Thank you. That was sweet of you. This is only a suggestion, but do you really think it's necessary that Jody stays here? She's been so badly shaken about this.
Yes, including meeting that strange guy coming out of her mother's apartment.
Now, wait a second. I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, my mother always had a lot of men friends. Maybe I should be happy that someone was thoughtful enough to pay her a visit before she...
Now, look, what about it, Jody? What are your feelings? Do you want to stay tomorrow for the service?
Yes, of course I want to stay. It was my idea, right? Besides, I'd feel guilty if I didn't.
If you ask me, I don't think you're the one who should feel guilty. Not after what you've been through. It's your mother who should be... I'm sorry, honey, back up.
Excuse me.
Me and my big mouth.
Gary,
why did I say that?
Please don't worry about it. I think anything would have upset her at this point.
It's just that I want to try to keep reassuring her not to feel guilty. I wish to hell I could save her from all this.
You know, one thing we could save her from is any further mention of that gentleman caller, because it's just possible that his visit resulted in Leonie Travis's death.
What?
I just mean that she was in such a fragile condition that any kind of upset could have led to a fatal attack.
Which means that, well, even Jody herself
That's
might
exactly what it means. That's why Dr. Hilmer was so concerned about Jody visiting her.
Maybe we should be grateful that Jody was too late.
Val, I realize what a shock this must be on me. Maybe you ought to have a drink or something.
No, I don't want anything.
Well, would you mind if I had one?
No, I'm sorry. What would you like?
Well, brandy would be nice, thank you. Oh, thanks.
This is very strange, you know. My life is filled with people who aren't who they seem to be.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Tell me, how long have you been in Monticello?
2 weeks. I imagine I should be totally honest with you. This is not the first time I've been outside your door. I just lacked the nerve to come see you before.
So there was someone there.
You knew?
Well, I could hear someone lurking around. Why didn't you show yourself?
I was scared. See, so much depended upon seeing you. I knew that there would be quite a shock for you, and my friends didn't think it would be wise for me to reveal my identity at the time being.
These friends of yours in Switzerland.
No, they're here now.
Here.
Yes, that's why I'm here. See, they didn't want me to follow, but I was just too tired of waiting.
Is one of them named Libby Webster? It is, isn't it?
Yes.
She's come here on more than one occasion to ask questions about you. About Skylar Whitney, that is.
You don't believe me, Val, do you?
You look like him. You sound like him. That is all I know.
Yes, I know. I look and I sound like a dead man. And that's all. My friends believe that I need more concrete evidence than that.
And there must be something. If you are who you say you are, what about fingerprints?
No. I was never arrested or drafted, so my fingerprints were never taken. That's why I came to see you, Valerie.
What do you expect me to do?
Valerie, you are the only person who can identify me.
Plain meat meals.
Reach for the spoon.
Betty Crocker scallop potatoes, made from fresh russet slices with a delicately seasoned white sauce, with pork chops there.
Reach for the spoon.
Betty Crocker au gratin potatoes. Real russet slices in a sauce tangy with real cheddar cheese. Sure gives meatloaf a lift.
Sure does.
Perk up your plain meat meals with Betty Crocker potatoes.
Reach for the spoon, the Betty Crocker spoon.
It's Saturday night! Still the cleverest species of them all.
Candace Bergen joins the WKBS tonight at 11 on Saturday night.
Valerie, you are the only person who remembers Sky Whitney as recently as 3 years ago.
What about business associates? Surely you had friends.
No, I was the kind of person who kept people at arm's length. I did most of my business by long distance. And the only friend I had was Jefferson Brown.
Jeff Brown, I remember him. Why don't you contact him?
He died in the plane crash. Or at least, that's what I assume.
You don't know?
No, not for sure. Libby seems to feel that he might have been the imposter.
What about your aunt, Geraldine Saxon, Skylar Whitney's aunt?
No, you see, my friends think it's too soon to try that yet.
How can I help you when I can't even be sure myself?
Valerie, look at me. Look at me. What do you see? Can't you see I am the real Skylar Whitney?
You're positive that's the whole story, hmm?
I told you everything that happened. Cliff, they can't do anything to me if I tell them the truth, can they?
No, they won't hurt you if you're telling the truth.
So that means I can probably get out of here tonight?
Wait a minute, hold on. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be able to find a judge now. Besides, this is homicide.
Wait a
Raven. They're not gonna
minute.
let you walk out.
Are you telling me that I have to spend the night in here alone?
I will try.
Counselor.
Yes, I'll get a magistrate first thing in the morning.
Wait a minute, don't go.
I can't help you unless I go. No, you'll be okay tonight. I'll get a magistrate first thing in the...
Wait a minute. I just thought of something. I know who we can call. I can call my car.
Purina Dog Chow, great American shootout. Those crunchy, munchy nuggets for the taste a dog just loves, and that combination of flavors he never gets tired of. More dogs are eating dog chow, they're loving it and how. Join the great American shootout, Purina Dog Chow. More dogs are chewing down with the great taste of Dog Chow brand dog food than any other. Join the great American shootout, Purina Dog Chow.
Tonight at 7, Grady gets extra Social Security checks in the mail and must decide whether to keep them or to be honest and poor on Sanford & Son. Now, stay tuned for a romantic ocean cruise next on the Love Boat.
This is Field Communications in Philadelphia.
Beautiful hair is my business. And the shampoo I use has to help me make hair beautiful. That's why I use Jerry Redding. When you use Jerry Redding in the salon or at home, it shampoos in a softness, a glow, a fullness, a styleability. Your hair is ready to do what you want it to do.
Tonight, starting at 6, it's The Joker's Wild with host Jack Barry.
Okay, here we go.
Joker, Joker, Joker! Followed by Bullseye at 6:30.
For the game, can you name it?
Oklahoma?
You got it! For an hour of suspense and excitement, it's The Joker's Wild, followed by Bullseye. Tonight, starting at 6 on Channel 48. If you're lonely, frightened, or just need someone to listen, Contact 609 is there. When just talking about the problem might help ease the pain, there is someone who can help. Don't feel alone. In Camden County, call Contact 609, 667-3000. Barbara Stanwyck and Robert Taylor star in His Brother's Wife. Tonight's late movie. Things are changing here at Channel 48. Monday night, we feature the premiere of The Joker's Wild with host Jack Barry at 6 o'clock, followed by the exciting new game show Bullseye with host Jim Lang. Then at 7:30, it's the return of The Odd Couple, all here on TV 48. Right now, stay tuned for The Love Boat.
This is Field Communications in Philadelphia.
Hey kids, Bugs Bunny's in town this week at the Civic Center.
We're gonna board a space-age rocket ship. Buckle up, get set to go. We've saved a seat for you.
'Cause you're a part of Bugs Bunny's outer space crew.
See Bugs, Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman at the Civic Center, April 7th through 11th. Tickets on sale now at Convention Hall and Ticketron. Watch for special offers in the Daily News at Kitty City and Shop and Bag Markets.
The average American family breaks 37.4 glasses every year. That's a lot of glasses. But not to worry, because now Geno's has glasses for you. Buy a medium-sized Coca-Cola for 79 cents or a large one for 89 cents, you'll get a glass. In fact, with any medium or large-sized beverage, you can get a glass. Yes, it's glasses for Coke at Geno's, and your whole family's gonna love them. And the best part is, you can keep coming back for more.
If you have an hour a week you can spare, volunteer. Spend that hour helping someone who needs you. You don't have to be an expert. There's a job to fit every talent. So have a heart and volunteer. Call the Burlington County Extension Office at 609-261-5051.
Call toll-free 24 hours a day, 800-331-1000. It's time for a new beginning, America.
This is CBS. Coming up next on the Channel 10 News, the latest on Hurricane Allen, a killer storm now headed toward the Gulf of Mexico. Eric Ray reports on local ham radio operators who are helping and keeping in touch during the hurricane emergency. Sherry Bank gets reaction to a change in the Philadelphia Police Department ban on homosexual officers. President Carter runs into campaign trouble as communist protesters get into a shouting match. And there is no joy at the vet. The Phillies have been wiped out, and I mean wiped out. Jim Kelly with the grim details next on the Channel 10 News.
Introducing a family place to play and learn. Sesame Place.
Hey, come and play. All the kids will say they've had a lovely stay at Sesame Place. They'll learn something new. Play the whole time through. There's so much to see and do at Sesame Place. Thanks, Dad.
Sesame Place, the place to play and learn.
You here again?
Meet Ford's small car mileage leaders, Fiesta and Pinto. Two great ways to get around the high cost of getting around. Besides terrific mileage, Pinto is pretty terrific to drive with over 40 standard features.
Hey, you missed a spot.
And with Ford's front-wheel drive Fiesta, you get excellent mileage, and you can have fun doing it. Pinto and Fiesta, Ford's small car mileage leaders.
Looking good.
My Fiesta?
or me.
There's mileage news at Ford.
A day in the life of 4 of America's premium jeans. One brand is Kmart Challenger jeans. All 4 are pre-washed, reinforced where they have to be, including Kmart's Challenger, blended of tough Celanese Fortrel polyester and soft cotton. All 4 are wash and wear, with great fit and natural fade, including Kmart's Challenger. All 4 fight wrinkles, but the Kmart Challenger has one feature the others don't, a feature that makes it a winner. It's Kmart priced.
WCAU-TV, Philadelphia. The devastation is widespread. Houses ripped apart. Many people killed as Hurricane Allen moves through the Caribbean tonight.
This is the Channel 10 News at 11 o'clock with Larry Kane and the Channel 10 News team.
Good evening. Tonight's big story on the Channel 10 News is the trail of destruction left by Hurricane Allen in the Caribbean. Now, right now, as we go on the air, the death toll stands at 66 and is climbing by the hour after the storm ripped through portions of St. Lucia, Haiti, and Jamaica. Right now, Allen is 100 miles south of Havana with winds of almost 140 miles an hour, and thousands of people have been evacuated. Herb Clark will have more on Allen later in the newscast, but right now, Eric Rabe reports on the devastation and dramatic local efforts to help out.
These are the first pictures of the devastation where Hurricane Allen has passed. Here on St. Lucia, 8 people were killed, and one report says every home on the island was damaged. Allen's 170-mile-an-hour winds wrecked the northeastern coast of Jamaica, and the southern coast of Haiti was badly damaged. At least 60 people have been killed.
Keith Werner, RHL from N3EA.
This is the amateur radio station of Joe Hertzberg in Bryn Mawr. For the last several hours, Joe's been sitting here at this console listening to reports of the damage from Hurricane Allen. As we listened, a radio operator in Haiti relayed the first reports of damage from the Cayman Islands. The 3 resort islands were directly in the hurricane's path. The damage was in the millions, the ham operator said. Homes and schools destroyed, roads in the east not passable, phones out for at least a few days, power out for 10 days or 2 weeks. The only communication among the islands was by ham radio through a special Hurricane Watch network.
They help to relay information on the hurricane to mostly, the most important are the outlying areas in the Caribbean and Mexico along the coastline where they don't have normal TV or radio services. And of course, in some cases, they operate mobile or on batteries when the power lines are down, such as they are at Cayman now.
Hertzberg has commendations on his wall for the help he's given in emergencies like Hurricanes Agnes and Carmen. They are the only thanks for free use of time and expensive equipment hams like Joe buy and maintain themselves. But with it, they can talk anywhere in the world. And in some places, like tonight in the Caribbean, that's the only communication there is. Eric Rabe, Channel 10 News in Bryn Mawr.
Quite a day at Wildwood by the Sea, New Jersey. Tonight, 2 people remain hospitalized following an accident at an amusement pier on Wildwood, New Jersey's boardwalk. Now, they were among 6 people hurt when a water slide on the Fun Pier collapsed. A plexiglass piece of the slide popped out, sending riders flying out of the boardwalk and the beach. The injured fell 20 feet to the boardwalk below, and a witness to the accident describes what he saw.
Everybody started screaming. And this girl in front of me, her eyes were like bulging out, and she was looking back there, and I turned around, and my friend's plunging down, and people were just shooting off.
An investigation into that accident is underway tonight in Wildwood. Hundreds of additional military police are now patrolling the Fort Indiantown Gap Refugee Center following yesterday's disturbances in which 85 people were hurt. Now, officials say they've rounded up 10 refugees they claim provoked the rock-throwing and window-smashing rampage, and they expect to capture others. The riot was apparently touched off by a search for illegal weapons conducted by federal authorities. The Lebanon County base was quiet today, and an investigation of the episode continues. We have word late tonight that inmates at Montgomery County Prison are restless over conditions at the Norristown Prison. In fact, a group of inmates has presented a list of grievances to prison officials. They're protesting what they call poor medical care, bad food, and unsanitary conditions at the prison. Prison officials are not commenting on the list of complaints, but they are saying most of the complaints are exaggerated. In a vast departure from tradition that will make history in Philadelphia, Police Commissioner Morton Solomon has gone on record saying his department will no longer ban homosexuals from the police department. Tonight, Sherry Bank found some strong reaction to that policy statement.
Many of the Philadelphia police officers we spoke with tonight are less than thrilled with the prospect of sharing their patrol car with a gay man or a lesbian. But few of them will talk about it on camera. They say they're afraid of losing their jobs. Tonight at the Philadelphia Police Roundhouse, most officers were reluctant to speak. Most, but not all of those who would, were rather non-committal.
It doesn't have any bearing on my job one way or the other. I mean, I could really care less.
Probably just about the same type of a reluctance to work with homosexuals as there was in the beginning to work with the women.
I just don't think it would work, at least not at this time.
Do you think that most officers wouldn't want to be teamed up with a homosexual partner?
I'm almost sure of it.
What has been the reaction? What do most people say?
It stinks.
We also went to the Fraternal Order of Police headquarters tonight and to their club. The officers there, too, refused to speak on camera. But their boss has spoken. Police Commissioner Morton Solomon says he's not interested in who sleeps with whom. The commissioner tells me tonight, quote, "I have no problem with anyone's off-duty sexual preference, as long as they're capable people who obey regulations." But former police commissioner Joseph O'Neill tells me tonight he's definitely opposed to such a policy. O'Neill says homosexuality is, quote, "deviant sexual behavior," and it's against the law. As for his former boss, Mayor Frank Rizzo, he's been unavailable for comment on that subject tonight. But Reverend Frank Crouch considers the new policy a victory. The Reverend's pastor of a church that reaches out primarily to the gay community. And while he's happy, he does foresee some problems.
I believe that there will be people on the force who do not understand gay people. I believe it will be a training process that will not necessarily be long, but will be necessary for those people to understand that gays can be trusted, as active and as helpful as other police.
Avowed homosexuals will not be hired on the Philadelphia police force until all the officers laid off on March 1st are rehired. But that could be by the end of this year, because Commissioner Solomon told me tonight he will recall 80 more police officers to the force in less than 2 weeks. Larry?
Okay, Sherry, next on our Wednesday night report, a brush with death for a country music star. Sex education passes another hurdle in New Jersey, and more trouble on the campaign trail, this time for the president. Next.
How would you like to win a free 1980 Chevy Citation?
Wow.
Free food for a year?
How?
Come celebrate Pathmark's 12th anniversary. We're giving away 12 free 1980 Chevy Citations from Potamkin. Free food for a year for 12 lucky families and 1,200 $12 free food certificates. Enter as often as you'd like at any Pathmark store, 24 hours a day. It's Pathmark's 12th anniversary sweepstakes with free cars and free food.
You feel better in the clothes you trust to Woolite. Woolite washing keeps the look and feel you love.
Trust Woolite and cold water to safely clean fine washables. Woolite keeps the fit, the color, the feel you love. Everything's soft, fresh. And when clothes look this nice, you feel beautiful in them.
Woolite safety keeps the look and feel you love.
Trust Woolite.
Franco Bolla for the Bolla family.
Sono Franco Bolla, poiché ogni vino è come un membro.
This is what he's saying about a Bolla wine you've never tasted. Bolla Trebbiano is the first wine our family's added in 40 years. Because we believe a light, dry wine like our Trebbiano comes along only very rarely. And we all agree Trebbiano has the superb taste it must have to be a Bolla. So, Bolla Trebbiano, welcome to the family.
Some car enthusiasts think of the Mazda RX-7S as an economical, sporty import. But according to the fuel economy sticker the government requires on every new car sold in America, this Pontiac Firebird with V6 and automatic transmission offers better estimated gas mileage. And according to this sticker, the V6 Pontiac Firebird is priced $1,791 less. Just goes to prove, even car enthusiasts can learn something from Pontiac.
This will be a night that country singer Charlie Pride will remember for a long time. A very close call for him. A plane carrying Pride and his band collided with another small plane west of Fort Worth, Texas. 2 people were killed on the other plane, which crashed, but Pride's plane landed safely and there were no injuries. It's still not known why the 2 planes collided. The state of New Jersey tonight has a revised sex education program. The Board of Education today okayed the program after a stormy hearing. The sex education will not begin until September 1983, and the plan passed today was modified from the original idea. It was changed enough to please some groups who were against it before today.
With parental involvement, this is the key that we feel will do the job.
And the classes will begin in the elementary schools at the grade level the districts determine and go through high school. Teachers will be prepared by in-service training, and doctors, clergy, and community representatives will help develop the sex education program. It appears tonight that political history will be made at the Democratic National Convention in New York next week. Senator Edward Kennedy says tonight he'll address the delegates during the debate over an open convention on Monday night. Now, it is very unusual for a presidential candidate to speak to a full convention. Usually the only time a candidate appears is after he clinches his party's nomination. President Carter was seeking black support today, addressing the National Urban League Convention now meeting in New York. Mr. Carter was the last of the 4 major presidential candidates to appear before the convention.